I keep wondering, why doesn't it liaise with the local government of Wakiso, and those guys are able to
They
work
have
on
to
something?
go through the procedures.
I was asking that question a while back,
but
and I was told.
We're going to return back to this conversation.
Okay,
Let's
no
first
doubt.
join Ivan in Luboa.
Chris and Priscilla, I'm coming to you from NTV this beautiful morning, and we will be speaking matters humanitarian support, because one of the areas in Wakiso which is far and hard to access is Bush Island, which is just, let me say, meters away from NTV, but it is really very hard to access, and many challenges have been exhibited in the area. And as we speak through the humanitarian efforts that Rotary is making, to be specific, that's the Rotary Club of Luboa, has been extending some humanitarian support. The area or the island has many challenges, right from health, education, among other things. Last time we went there, we actually showed a story to our audience when the Rotary Club was trying to support children who have a lot of disabilities, those who have brain problems, others, you know, disabilities in that same direction. But as this went on, of course, there was still a call for more other support from other corporate communities, corporate companies to also go and support the island. You know what is on the island when I mentioned that. But I want to explore more of this and get more information on how and why Rotary thinks that was a spot for them to visit and support the communities there. And is there effort, or are there efforts enough to support the island, or they think more other well-wishers should join them? Speaking to me this beautiful morning is the Director Public Relations for the Rotary Club of Luboa to tell us more, Madam Catherine Nayesiga. Thank you very much for joining me on NTV.
Thank you so much, Ivan, and thank you, NTV, for inviting us and giving us this time to speak to you this morning.
Yeah, you, the Rotary Club of Luboa, you went to the island, but tell us, among all other places, why did you decide to choose Bush Island?
Now, the genesis of Busi Island and our involvement in Busi Island spans from 2018, 2019. In Rotary, leadership is for 1 year. At that time, we had a president, Pipi Elizabeth, and Pipi Conrad was the one who is coming in power. So he thought, and he thought hard to think of a project that we can do during his year, which was 2019, 2020. And with the thoughts, he had friends, and this is the Mukisa Foundation. Mukisa Foundation is a village, inclusive village, that deals with children with disabilities. Their offices are in Longoja. So when Conrad was speaking to them, he met them in his social networks. They told him what they offer, and he got interested. Yes. So when because Mukisa Foundation is in Busi Island, so they also came and interested us about the children with disabilities at Busi Island. So Conrad came back to the club.
Okay, maybe I just break you. When you say children with disabilities, what kind of children are you talking about? Which disabilities, to be specific, maybe?
We are looking at physical impairment, either the limbs are not working. We are looking at the ear impairment. We are looking, some children have no sight. Some children have, because I'm not a medical personnel, I'll simply describe, some children have big heads. That's a disease. Yes, yeah. So we've got, and then we also have seen a little bit of mental situations within Busi. So Mukisa Foundation deals with all these disabilities.
But maybe let's be specific. When you talk about the problem that is at the island, how big is it? How do you make someone perhaps think it is something overwhelming that needs more other, maybe well-wishers to support that community?
Now, in 2018, 2019, when we visited, we actually did a needs assessment to also ascertain, just like you're asking me, is this really happening here? And you will be fascinated by the findings. Out of every home, at least you'd find that there are about 1 or 3 or 2 children that are disabled, but they were being hidden. One, there is a lot of myth at the island that children are cast, men are running away, thinking that for them they cannot give birth, or their women cannot give birth to disabled children because they are witchcrafts, maybe, or these women are not taking care of themselves. So the magnitude of disability at the island overwhelmed us. I mean, there are many other problems that we shall talk about as well. But then for us, that was eye-catching because we found that people are not embracing their children. They are running away, and because of the myths that are at the island, and majorly the witchcraft.
How easy is it for them to access healthcare at the island? We know the regional referral hospital for Wakiso is NTV, but how hard or easy is it for them to access healthcare?
Now, I'll give the viewers a glimpse of understanding transportation. You can access Busse Island in two spots. It's either you're going through Nakauka, Kasanje, Mabamba Island, which from town, Kampala, is about 44 kilometers. And if you're coming from Kajansi, it's about 25 kilometers. Now, the road from Kajansi, let's say if you're using Kajansi, to Mabamba, that's if you're going through Kasanje, is very, extremely rough.
Are you trying to tell us that the people who are at Busse Island, can I say expensive for them to come to even to Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital?
It is very expensive.
Do they have a health center, even 1, 2, or 3 in there?
Now, there is a government health facility, Health Center 3. Now, that health center, the last time we went there, when we were doing outreaches and the needs assessment, some of the things that they expressed, which we also witnessed, were lack of drugs, limited lack of drugs. And then the facility is not equipped with lab equipment, medicine, but also the human resources there is limited. So if an illness is of a disabled child and it's only nurse, it becomes a little bit difficult for a nurse to take care of the number of children that are disabled. So the health facility is there, but it needs a little bit of an upscale.
Okay, so do you think the efforts done by Rotary Club of Luboare enough to support the communities, or with other challenges you saw at the island, you think more people should join you or also get to the island and support the people?
I'll start with applauding the Rotary Club of Luboa, the Rotary Fraternity in general. We are partnering with the Rotary Club of Teshti from German and the Mukisa Foundation, which is helping us implement this project. However, we need support. We need support from our primary stakeholders, who is the government. When it comes to transport, it's very bad, very hard to access, and therefore we need some support in transportation, and we are calling upon UNRWA as the first stakeholder when it comes to transport system and network. We are also calling upon, because the project we are doing now is about economic empowerment, and we are helping families of children with disabilities. In other words, we are helping the family.
What are you giving them?
So the project is looking at an inclusive package for both the children with disabilities and their families, because you cannot cater for a child and you leave out the caretaker or the mother. So some of the activities we've done: 1, vocational training for the youth, and these are specifically 13 and above years old. We have trained them in vocational skills like cooking, catering. We have trained them in vocational skills like sewing, and we have already set up a sewing center and a vocational skills center at Mukisa Foundation on Busse Island, or at Busse Island. We have also given out farming skills to the caretakers, and on top of that we have given out animals. These animals include cows, goats, pigs, and birds like chicken. Now, how is the model working? That when we give one family a cow, it's supposed to give birth, and then we give to another family, and then that family also raises it and it gives. So we have trained them that if you kill one cow, it means you're denying the next family. Okay. So that is the model we are using in Busse Island regarding that economic empowerment. Back to your question. If we're only doing economic empowerment and we are not looking at the road network, and we are not looking at the land wrangles in the area, and we are not looking at the education system, we are not looking at the health care, I'll tell you that we have had stories where mothers who are pregnant are dying on the canoe or on a boat, that wooden ferry, when they're going to Entebbe Referral Hospital, simply because the health center that is there cannot facilitate that service.
Okay, if someone wants to join you maybe in helping and supporting the communities at Busse Island, how easy is it for you to connect, or where do they find you? Maybe in 30 seconds, because we're out of time.
Okay, so I want to call upon government agencies. This is Ministry of Education, UNRWA, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Land, and the Wakiso District official leadership to come and join us. But not only the government leadership, but also the other international partners that we can work with. Now, Rotary Club of Lubowa meets at Grace's Restaurant every Tuesday. That's the first at 7 p.m. And you can also reach us through our social media platform, but also our email.
Yes, okay.
Our email, pr@rotarylubowa.org.
Okay, for time reasons, we'll leave it here, but thank you very much for making time, Catherine, to speak to us.
Thank you so much, NTV. Thank you so much, Ivan. And thank you so much, the Rotary Club Fraternity.
Catherine Nayesiga is the Director of Public Relations, Rotary Club of Lubowa, just giving us insights of what is happening at Busse Island. It's an island, of course, that calls for more support, humanitarian support, I say, from well-wishers, corporate communities. I've personally also been there, but there is a lot that needs to be tapped into, especially when we want to empower communities. For time reasons, I want to come back to you in the studios. A very good morning to you and our audience.